What's going on, YouTube sword community? So I've been meaning to make this video for a while. I just haven't had the time. So I just kind of wanted to remake the video I already made. I already kind of did my rant on the Ronin Katana and why I don't like them. But it was kind of a jumble up between that and the review of this sword. The reason I have this sword out now is because it's a pretty good representation of the Dojo Pro's price point and just how they completely missed the mark on almost everything that they're trying to do with that sword. So just a little brief history on me so I can go into what I want to go into. I had a YouTube cutting channel probably about 10 years ago. I've been into swords for about that amount of time, a little longer actually. So I've kind of seen things come and go, and I've seen things start and end and all that shit as far as like sword companies go. I'm not trying to be cool or anything. I'm just kind of trying to give you a rundown on myself, so I can give you my opinion, and then you can kind of just do with it as you will. So back when I started doing this, the first blade that I actually got was like a Ronin Katana. I got it after reading all the reviews on SPG, like most people do who end up with a Ronin Katana. It's probably one of the places that sells the most Ronin Katana. Got that sword, had issues with it from the very beginning. I guess I can go into all of them. So when I got my blade from Ronin Katana, my end cap was like falling off. My Ito was loose. That's the wrap here. The blade itself was dull. It wouldn't cut water bottles. It wouldn't cut fucking paper. It wouldn't really cut anything. Wasn't impressed with it as the first sword that I got. My Suka was cracked. Found that out when I took the handle off. Basically, I reached out to Ronin Katana, let them know all these issues that I had, and they basically told me, well, you need to figure out how to fix your Suka, I guess. This was 10 years ago. All right, so I don't have any of these messages anymore. This is 10 years down the line and many email accounts later. Same situation kind of happened with Bushimata. He's a YouTube cutter. Some of you guys may be subscribed or whatever. He also had an issue with Ronin Katana, another quality control issue that they did nothing to rectify. So, I mean, that's just two examples. My example and an example that I heard from Bushimata years ago and actually found on SPG. That's the other thing. I made a new account on SPG, so I've been on there. And, I have stuff to back all this stuff up. This isn't just me fucking slinging mud on Ronin Katana. There's years and fucking documented evidence of them just being shady fucking scumbags. I don't like them. I think they made a sword that fucking was too expensive for the price and for what you got 10 years ago. I think now it's an absolute joke that they're even still selling them. I think a lot of it has to do with people on SPG recommending them because they think that it gets them brownie points because SPG sells them. Some people might actually genuinely, like them, and that's fine. It's all right to have preferences and stuff, but I've seen this company screw so many people in the community, and it's a small community to start with, and I like to see everybody in the community win. You know what I mean? I don't like to see them get stuck with broken shit. Ronin Katana, their swords, from what I've had the one Ronin Katana. I would never buy another one after the customer service experience I had with them, and the product that they shipped me was substandard in my opinion, and not worth $300. So that's the only sword that I've had from them, but it was a thick, heavy sword. It didn't handle like a katana. I wasn't impressed with it. I mean, I know a lot of people are impressed by them because they're so durable, but they're so durable because they're not built the way a sword should be built to handle regular cutting tasks. There's not many people who are going to go out and try to take down a tree with a katana. But if you do, there's still better options than Ronin Katana. I think in 2023, there's absolutely no reason to buy a Ronin Katana. I wouldn't recommend it 10 years ago. I certainly wouldn't recommend it now. I can reference another situation that had happened. There was a kid on SBG who bought a Ronin Katana. This is still on SBG. I'll find the link and I'll put it in the description. Bought a Ronin Katana. It was like a Euro model. The guard was fucking misaligned, or the fucking blade was completely bent, or whatever the fuck it was. So basically, here we go again. Ronin Katana shipping broken things. So he complains about it to Ronin Katana through their website, sends them direct messages. I think that's where he bought it. So he was directly messaging with Ronin Katana, went to voice his frustration on the forum, and in pops Ronin Katana, posts all his private messages on the forum for everybody to read. Now, luckily, the kid wasn't in the wrong at all. He was actually in the right, and Ronin Katana just made themselves look stupid. But, like, this is a normal thing for Ronin Katana back in the day. SBG used to be one of the only places you could go if you were into swords and talk to other people who were into swords. There were a lot of knowledgeable people on there. There were a lot of practitioners. There were a lot of, like, old school blade collectors and just, like, people who had a lot of information that they were willing to share, which is a rare thing. And when you find it, you should appreciate it. If you're trying to learn about something and somebody freely shares that information with you, that's a good fucking person right there. So at that time, that was one of the only places that you could really go and talk fucking swords with other people. Ronin Katana being sold by SBG would often go out of their way to get people banned if they left a negative review about Ronin Katana. They would deem it, mudslinging or something like that. So, I mean, if you had an issue with Ronin Katana, you might as well just shut your mouth because your next step is getting banned. So there was like a gag order on SBG where you couldn't really tell people that Ronin made dog shit swords, even when they weren't completely broken when they sent them to you. So the word never really got out, and anytime people would fucking tell the truth about Ronin, they'd get banned. So people just started saying nice things about Ronin, which inevitably had a lot of new people into the hobby end up with a fucking sword that they weren't happy with, that wasn't really representative of what that style of sword should even do. Now, I'm speaking to the katana aspect of it. I've never had a Euro sword from them or anything like that. But as far as I'm concerned, there's no reason to buy a fucking Ronin Katana. All right, this is my Dragon King Warhorse. This is the whole reason I have this fucking thing out, is just so I can just go over a couple of things. So this is in the same price point as a fucking Ronin Dojo Pro. 65 MN steel. Okay? About the same steel as a Ronin Katana. I think Ronin Katana is 1060 through hardened. Their Dojo Pro model. So here we go. The fittings on this are fucking done really well. Fittings on the Ronin Katana, I really didn't have any problem with the fittings on the Ronin Katana. I thought it was all right for what it was. The fact that this was falling off of my Ronin Katana I was not all right with. $300 sword. The Ito's tight. It's somewhat uniform. It's fucking good for a $300 sword. Sai is not cracked. Suka's not cracked, I meant to say. Just done really well. Differentially hardened blade. And that's the other thing. It's fucking 2023, guy. There's no reason that you shouldn't have a differentially hardened blade unless you're purposefully going for a through hardened fucking blade. There's swords on Amazon that sell for $100 that are made out of T10 and have a differentially hardened blade. That's already head and shoulders above a fucking Ronin Katana. And you can have those for less money than you can have their 1045 different. First of all, you don't want a 1045 sword. You really don't. They dull quicker. They bend. They're really not what you want. Especially when you can get a T10 or something. T10 is absolutely durable. It'll stand up to anything you really need it to stand up to, unless you're just abusing it, in which case that's your own fault. I don't see any reason to pay $300 for a 1060 fucking sword. It's stupid, to be honest with you. This is just done so much better. And this is like something that they should be doing. They should be looking at all the negative comments over the years, of which there are several, and they should be doing something to improve their product, but they never will, because they just skate by on that SPG shit. Um, honestly, I don't like them. That's most of the reason why I don't like them, because they, personal attacks on other people in the community and stuff like that. Shipping things that are broken, selling things that are overpriced for what they are in today's day and age, and making a sword that doesn't handle like a sword. I know there's a lot of price points for Ronin Katana. I know in my last video I kind of delved into that a little bit. Um, they literally sell a $5,000 meteorite sword on SBG, in partnership with SBG. They sell it. It's not a Japanese sword. I believe it's a Chinese sword or whatever. But regardless, we're selling Moonrock swords now for $5,000. I don't know what to tell you. I fucking don't like them. I think they're shady. I think they sell a dog shit product, and that's the why I feel the way that I feel. I've seen people that I was personally friends with be banned off of SBG just because of fucking Ronin Katana, just because people were honest and didn't want to be disingenuous. I understand that SBG makes money with Ronin Katana, and it's in their best business interest to make sure that Ronin Katana is happy. But at the same time, if you want to run a forum that's based on discussions and reviews of swords and not let anybody say anything negative, uh, you see the end result. SBG is nothing what it was. Ricky from HSTS was banned from SBG because he was too much competition for Ronin Katana. He made a better sword uh, at about the same price, and it was universally known it was a better sword. So instead of Ronin Katana trying to step up and like make a better quality product, they got in Paul's ear. Oh, ban Ricky, ban Ricky. So I mean, there's just a long history of them just being shitbags, and they make a dog shit product. And I won't apologize for saying it either. I've been around long enough. I've had enough swords. Ronin Katana, not worth your money. I've advised strongly against buying them. There's so many other better things out there. There's Dragon King, $300. I have nothing to do with Dragon King, but it's a great fucking blade, and you can have it for the same price that you can have that Ronin Katana. And this will actually cut shit. This thing came razor fucking sharp like it should, and it was beautiful to look at. The Ronin Katana was neither, and from all accounts that I've heard, they're still not. I wouldn't spend $150 on a Ronin Katana, and I certainly wouldn't spend $800 or $5,000. There's just so many better options. Buy an Amazon sword. That's a better option than a Ronin Katana. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Sorry if I came off as an asshole. I didn't mean to, but I'm not going to lie to people and tell them Ronin Katana is a good sword when it's not. Have a great night.